While inside the tunnel, the connection between Peter seemed to be lost. It had happened ever since he went underground. Quinn thought that it might have something to do with the distance between the two at the moment, as he didn't know that Peter and the others were underground as well. Thinking that help would never arrive, they decided to just leave it up to fate and pick the tunnel with the biggest entrance. Some crystals could be used to create powerful weapons, even more powerful than their modern equipment. But right here, crystals were hanging freely on the wall around him, and it wasn't just one crystal. There seemed to be hundreds of crystals through the tunnel they had just walked. Exiting the tunnel, it seemed like they'd arrived at what looked like a type of town. Buildings stretched out far and wide, and it was comparably as large as any one of the shelters they've seen before. Their gaze moved on towards the tallest building that stood in the center of the place. Although a town underneath a mountain was surprising to them, it didn't seem impossible. There were rumors of such shelters being built on other planets where the temperatures could reach extreme levels at different times of the year. Underground shelters were the only answer to such uninhabitable places. Although the place looked abandoned and was void of people, the buildings were a different matter. The structures looked perfectly fine and hadn't deteriorated a single bit. The only semblance of the passage of time of abandonment was a layer of dust or rock-like substance from the ceiling that coated the top of everything. And finally, the design. Although the substance was strong, it wasn't as flexible and nimble as Galthrium. This meant that the edges weren't smoothed out, giving a slight rocky look. "They're Dalki structures," Quinn muttered. What are you on about?" Flex replied. "These aren't Dalki structures. They're vampire structures." "The boy is right," the system replied. "These resemble the structures that were built in my time." Quinn said, "Why don't we check out some of the buildings? Maybe there will be something inside which will tell us if it was the Dalkis who made this or the vampires." For the first time, as they got closer to the tower, it looked like some of the buildings had been destroyed, as if they had taken part in a battle. The top had crumbled to the ground, and some structures no longer existed. Just then, they heard a sound of growling from the sides. "I guess it's time to call on some extra help." Fex touched his ear and pulled on his dangling earring. Suddenly, in the palm of his hand, the earring started to glow until eventually it started to change its shape, forming what looked like a cross between a bull and a bat. "Ham here at your service," the bull said excitedly as it flew in a circle.
Want to watch more episodes of my vampire system? Follow Pocketfm Fantasy Chronicles. You can watch the next episode here in the playlist.